This is now our school board workshop for November 19th, 2025. And just before we begin, we are switching the order of the items here just for our friends who were here from JB Associates. So C, comprehensive school strategy plan, will now come before the superintendent evaluation discussion and the, yes. So anyway, at this time, we will open the floor for public comment. Each speaker will have up to 2 minutes to address the board. So Ms. Johnson, we have any?
No, sir, we do not have any speakers for this meeting.
All right, excellent. All right, so Ms. Neal, are you ready to begin?
I am. Thank you so very much. Good afternoon. I think it's close enough to say good afternoon. We are so excited to be here to publicly present our comprehensive school strategy plan and how this process will work moving forward. With me today is Kathy Ebaugh from JBPro. You're going to be hearing from both of us throughout this presentation. So just so you're aware, we're going to kind of share back and forth as we go. So we are presenting for you today our schools future ready, our comprehensive school strategy plan. Again, we are talking today not about the specific plan, but about the process to get us to that plan. So what you're seeing on our slide here is our logo. We'll talk about that again in just a few moments when we go into some other features of our presentation. So our agenda for the day, I'm supposed to be clicking something. Sorry, here we go. Our agenda for the day, we're going to talk about why this project. We're going to talk about what makes this project different from other attempts and also some of the things that are similar within the project. We're going to talk about the project communication and branding, and that's where we'll talk again about that logo. We're going to talk about the various project phases and about community and board involvement, a key part of this project. We do have a collaborative planning team. As you'll see today, you've got both myself from the district and Kathy from JBPro doing the presentation. So you will see a collaborative project throughout. So we do have teams from the district as well as teams from JBPro working together on this project. The people on the team from the district are myself as the district project manager side of that, as director of FTE, state reporting, and kind of all things school choice with zoning and charter schools, et cetera, under my purview. We also have helping lead the effort, and a key part of the effort, especially as we get into phase 2, we have Martha Moore, our manager of the student assignment and zoning department. She's joining us as well today. Also a part of that team are Superintendent Patton, Deputy Superintendent Atria, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Edwards, Assistant Superintendent Ms. Terry, our Executive Director Suzanne Wen, Executive Director James Shepard, and our Director of Communications and Community Initiatives, Jackie Johnson. So that's the bulk of our district team. We will also be bringing in additional district team members as needed throughout the project.
Good afternoon. It's really amazing to be here. From the JBPro team, I will be leading our team with Nick Hill, John Gilreath, Michael Granto, and Jacob Alderman. And then we also have Chris Cortez, who will be helping us with marketing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I made my list. I think Kathy forgot hers. Just kidding. Just kidding.
It was in my head.
It was all in the head, yes. And we do have Jacob Alderman here with us today as, I believe it was Deputy Project Lead, Project Manager with JBPro. So we're going to talk a little bit next about why this project and what is important with that. And I can't remember which one of us was doing this slide, so I'm so sorry. We really do have this together. Okay, so we're going to talk about the rationale for this project. So we're really working on it now to be ready for the upcoming school year. This project, as we go into it, will be actionable for the 26-27 year and beyond. So we need to think of this as a long-range project, but also being ready for the next coming school year. We're going to be looking at facility and program gaps and making sure that we are taking care of the needs in all of those. We're looking at, part of the rationale for this is enrollment changes. We know we've talked an awful lot about declining enrollment, school capacities, those kind of things, and so we're really looking at that as a part of this project. Working to right-size our schools and even more importantly, our school district. So making sure that that's a part of the project is right-sizing the district to the footprint and everything with the enrollment that we have. We will be looking at instructional quality, programmatic quality, really looking at that throughout the project, and school options. We know that our families in our community have so many school options, and we want to make sure that as Alachua County Public Schools, we are doing everything we can do so our families choose us. We want them to come to Alachua County Public Schools. And through this project, as we look at the right sizing of the district, the facilities, the programs, all of that, we do think we can make Alachua County Public Schools the place to choose. So that's a lot of the reason we are working on this project collaboratively throughout.
So what makes this project different? This project is different in a number of ways. First and foremost, it is comprehensive, in meaning that there are three major components to this. This isn't just about drawing lines on a map. This is about understanding why do parents make the choices they make. So understanding the programming, the instructional capacity, the instructional demand or interest of our parents, understanding what it is about the extra programs that it is, whether it's electives, or magnet type programs, or it's the extra after school type programs. Those are all very critical to this. This is, like we say, it's a three-legged stool. It is the facilities that produce and provide for our educational systems. It is the instructional programming and the extra programming that is provided to our students, and it's where the lines in the map are drawn and the types of schools that are within those lines. All of that will be looked at. This is long-term. While there are, as Kim mentioned, immediate items that will be implementable next school year, there will be a long-term strategy. And I'm using that word very specifically because this is a strategic plan. It is a strategic initiative. This is long-term understanding of where Alachua Public Schools wants to go long-term. And that means it's a vision forward. And we're going to talk a little bit more about where that vision comes from and how that vision is attained as we move forward with this presentation. Because in the end, this is community first. This is about community, and I mean community in the broadest sense of the word. This is all of us. I myself am a resident of Alachua County. I have a senior at Buellholz High School. So this is my community too, but this is also your community as the board. It's the staff's communities. It's parents of students who are in school today. It's parents of students who will be in the school district in the future, and parents of students who have left the district and gone on to greater things. But it's also about parents who are not in the district. It's about parents who may never have a student in the district. It's about our college students at University of Florida. Community in this term is in the broadest sense. It's our business owners and our business community. It's everybody who has a stake in the future of our students in our schools. And part of what makes us different and recognizing how different we are comes right out of the gate, because this is about a very visible and very active community programming. As we're going to talk about in a little bit, this has an unprecedented amount of community engagement and in community discussions, and that community discussions are not a forward-thinking, we've got an idea, we're going to present it to you. We're going to first learn and hear from the community what their thinking is. And so we've created our own logo for this project, and this logo will be branded everywhere. It will be in our schools, it will be on our websites, it will be in all public communication, it'll be the colors, as you've seen throughout this presentation, will be in all of our materials, all of our engagement materials, all of our online materials. Anytime we are talking about this project over the next 5 months, you will see this logo, you will see these colors, and you will hear the Our Schools Future Ready. And it's really that Our Schools part that's really significant to us, because this is our schools, our community schools, all of us working together for our future. We will have a significant online engagement piece. Starting on December 4th, we will be kicking off an online engagement. So if you don't have the capacity to come to one of our events, that's okay. You'll be able to pick out your phone, your computer, or your laptop, and you'll be able to go to a website that is dedicated to this process, and you'll be able to participate in all of the activities that mirror the activities that are being done in person. You will also be able to use this as an online portal for any engagement materials, any maps, any initiatives, any drafts of the report, anything that we produce throughout this process. You will see it online, so you can easily access it anytime and anywhere if you have a question. This is a very open process so that people can really understand and get a hold of the materials that are part of this. And finally, it's got a different identity. It's because this is, again, student-focused, community-focused. So the activities that we do are going to be very different, and the people that we're going to reach are different, as we're going to talk about in a little bit.
So our planned timeline, we are in the process now of phase one. We've started phase one. We're really going to kick off even more of phase one with community engagement coming in December. Phase two will be that January, February. We're going to talk about each of these phases in a moment as well. That'll take us January, February, up until our final phase three with potential adoption of the whole project coming in March. So what do those phases really look like? In phase one, it's really that ideas and input, that getting the vision for the district. So we're looking now in phase one at our existing conditions, enrollment, facility information, transportation information, all of the things that we know about the district right now. We're going to be building that community vision. What does that community vision for Alachua County Public Schools really look like? That's going to be a part of all of those community engagement events. And all of that will lead us to the guiding principles for the remainder of the project. Through engagement, we're doing that engagement in so many different ways. You've heard Kathy talk about that a little bit already today with all of the community engagement, and student groups, staff engagement. We are really hoping and encouraging our staff will come to those community events, participate in that online engagement. We want to hear from staff as part of our global community. Through board engagement, we will be working with you all throughout the process as well, and you've heard about that online engagement. The dates here stand for some significant events. So December 4th is when that public engagement really kicks off with both the website, and that is our first community event that will go through that calendar, the first one at Mabane Middle School. December 6th, there will be a pop-up event at the Bo Diddley Plaza that afternoon. There's a community event. So we're going to have the JBPro team there talking with community at that public event about what makes their schools great, or why do they select schools that they select. December 16th is the board engagement, where we will have a board workshop with you all. And that round of community engagement for phase one ends on December 18th with our final community event. Phase two will lead us into creation of that plan that we are looking at. It'll talk about what are the proposed boundaries for school zoning and the strategies for programs and facilities. It will be a culmination of the community input gathered in phase one and getting more feedback from the community. Did we get those guiding principles right? Did we get where you wanted us to get in this plan? And it'll also be future direction from you all around the next steps of that project. Again, we have the same types of engagement available for the community, our students, our staff, you all as the board, and the online engagement. So January 12th is a board workshop where we will be finalizing those guiding principles moving forward. And then February 4th starts those next round of community engagement through February 19th. And then at the end of February, around that February 27th date, we will get the next final guidelines of what are those proposed maps and report and strategies moving forward that will come to you all for board approval. Phase three is that plan adoption. That's where we'll be finalizing that plan, having the public do a final review of that plan, going for adoption for that, and implementation moving forward past that. Those key dates, again, are that February 27th, we'll receive those final reports and maps, followed by a board meeting on March 12th. For adoption of the plan.
So you've heard we have a lot of engagement. Now we'd like to share with you when that's going to happen. And the colors. The colors don't come up. So there are actually colors on this map, but they're not showing. So I will just tell you what they are. Starting December 4th, that's a really important date for us because December 4th is that online engagement start. It's also our first of our workshops. But it's not only first of our workshops with our community, it's our first of our workshops with our students. We are working with each of the schools that we are going to help understand how we can reach a group of our students at each activity. So we will be doing both an evening activity for everybody, which children are encouraged to participate. We'll have activities for adults. We'll have activities for children. But we will have a student-focused one before that in the afternoon. Then on the 6th, we will have the pop-up event at Bo Diddley Plaza in conjunction with the holiday parade. And then the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th, that whole week, Monday through Thursday, we're going to be out again doing community workshops and student workshops. Then on the 15th, 17th, and 18th, once again, we will be finishing up. So all total, we will have 8 opportunities for in-person activities as well as this September, the Saturday, the 6th. And then the 16th is not an opportunity for everyone to speak, but this is the opportunity for the board to have a conversation with us. The idea being that we want to hear from everybody. Again, our community is a very wide breadth term. And then in February, we will start our engagement on Wednesday the 4th, and we will go through Thursday the 19th. We will not have in-person activities on the 16th, that's a holiday, and then the 17th is our workshop with the board. And there is going to be a pop-up at some point during February, but we're still scheduling that event. So in total, this is your public engagement activities for each round. Each round will have 9 public events, that's 8 open houses and 1 community pop-up, 8 student discussions, 1 principal meeting, 1 board workshop, and online engagement throughout.
This will give you an idea of where we are doing all of those community engagement events. We did purposefully go to all areas of our county. So we are trying to meet people where they are and where they can get to us to come to those live events if they choose to do so. So the next slide will show the actual dates of each of those. So again, we start on December 4th at Mabane Middle School. Then we go to Eastside and Oakview Middle School, Westwood Middle School, High Springs, Buchholz, Kannapaha, and Hawthorne. One of the things to make note of is we did a variety of schools levels with the middle and high. That was not necessarily because of we wanted to do that. We wanted the location and the space that was very flexible for the student groups and the small groups and the types of engagement that will be done. It's not a stand and listen kind of presentation. It is not a community open mic to give that. It is discussion based, which you'll see more of in just a few moments as Kathy talks about the engagement events.
So once again, this project is different because it's not just the amount of engagement we're doing and the types of various ways you can engage, but it's actually the types of engagement that you will experience when you're in the effort. So as I mentioned earlier, a traditional way of doing school planning, which I've been involved with for over 15 years at various school districts, including the Director of Planning for Lee County and Sarasota County School Districts, is we bring maps to the community and we say, isn't this great? Don't you love our map? Tell us what you love about it or hate. We don't ask them at the beginning, what's your concerns about? What makes you make decisions? We don't ask how are you making a decision or why are you making a decision? That's the difference in the way we do our community planning for school districts. We ask those questions up front. We do not bring maps to the first round of engagement. We do not presume that we know the answers, because we don't. We don't presume that today I have any idea what's going to happen when we get to March, because I don't. We need to hear from the community first. we need to understand what their concerns are. So on the slide are various community activities that we have done with the various partners that we work with at many different jurisdictional levels. And what you see common, whether it's a steering committee meeting with Lake County School District, or a pop-up event at the city of Williston, or a student activity, again in the city of Williston, or community open houses in Deltona and Palm Coast. The common theme, and city of Sarasota, the common thing through all of these is that we're engaging with the community. We're asking them to provide information for us. We're asking them to direct this process. We are but a mirror back to the community. We don't have all the answers. The community has the answers, and we want to learn from them what they're thinking so that we can help provide recommendations for them to make good decisions, decisions that are collaborative and consensus built. So the outcomes of this project, these are the things that people will see as a result of this effort. First of all, after each round of engagement activities, you will have a summary and analysis of what we heard and what we learned. That will be used then to establish a vision for the moving forward and guiding principles that will direct the activities and the development of any of the strategies or any of the maps that we create through this process.
Additional outcomes are those initiatives for programs, school boundaries, and facilities that we will be looking at both the short-term actionable pieces as well as the long-term actionable piece. We will have data on enrollment and enrollment trends. We will have capacity data, programmatic data, as well as transportation data, and that will have that ultimate goal of having some cost analysis with that as we go forward. And then we will have that final plan with the implementation roadmap to move forward. We have opportunities for you all as the board, and we want to encourage that as we will continue to encourage our staff and community and student engagement. So we really are asking for your help in supporting the engagement, getting that word out, helping to encourage active community participation from the constituents in our county. We want everybody involved, and we do want you all as board members to participate in the process moving forward also.
We also want you to help confirm the guiding principles once they're drafted. We don't want to bring solutions to the community that aren't in line with where the board thinks that we should be heading. So after our first round of community engagement, as Kim mentioned, on January 12th, we will bring back before you the summary of the engagement activities as well as what we are establishing as the vision moving forward and the guiding principles. We are asking you to confirm those for us, to provide us direction as we move into the decision-making process that will be held in the February community engagement activities. But most importantly, what we want you to do for us is be our champion. We want you to encourage everyone you know, whether it's a fourth grader, whether it's a pre-K student, whether it's a parent, whether it's a grandparent, whether it's a student at UF, whether it's a business person you work with, we want you to encourage everyone to participate. This only works if we get the full participation of our community. We are working as hard as we can to provide as many opportunities in as many different ways so that people don't have to come to us, that we can come to them through the online engagement. And when they do come to us, we're in their neighborhood in those 8 different locations around the county or at the pop-up. So we're trying to provide those opportunities, but what we need from the board is to be our champion, to support us, and to promote people to come to us and participate in this effort, because this will only work if our entire community works together for the future of our students.
I do also just want to share that we did have a discussion with our union leaders as well presenting the process to them, so they are familiar. And so we wanted to make sure that you all knew, we've already started some of that staff just getting the word out through Ms. Ward and Dr. Tessman to get the word out to staff as well. So I think that's an important piece for you all to be aware of, that we have done that. We also did have a brief principal discussion, or principal and AP discussion, so they're also aware of this project kickoff today. So again, I think it's important that you all know that communication has started in various ways, but today really is the kickoff to move forward for all of the next steps of engagement. So we are open to any questions or discussion or thoughts that you all have that you want to make sure we hear today.
Yeah, Ms. Playback.
I thank you very much. Very concise. And I appreciated the one-on-one meeting we had together. Okay, so I'm going to put my teacher hat on. Buchholz was spelled wrong. So
The school that my son attended.
I know, and my daughters went there. So I was like, oh, I can't do that. So
We will correct it to repost.
I know, that just didn't look great. Secondly, I know that Ms. Johnson is going to do a fantastic job with getting out the information, and I think that one of my concerns that we talked about was, so parents don't know, so parents know this is not a Q&A session. They're not going to be there and expect to dominate a question like we talked about, and I think that's really important because in the past that's kind of how it's run. So I really like the changes that you're making. I think that roundtables and people chatting with each other is great. And as I've said to you, I certainly am going to let you be the leader in this. I think the board is going to be very excited to see where you take this. And we're not, I feel we should not interject until, when you ask, absolutely, but not to be there to like drive the conversation, because that's not our job. You're going to spend a lot of time going out into the community, and I love it that you're talking to students because, boy, they're smart. They know a lot, and the parents certainly are welcome. And going all over the district is wonderful because they all have that opportunity. And are you going to have them at different times? So if a parent can't get in the evening, they can have something in the daytime just to go to a different school, or?
Right now, they're all scheduled for the evening.
Evening?
Yeah, the student activity is scheduled for the afternoon around 3 o'clock, and then the parent or the community is around 5:30. But we do have that online engagement tool that's available for anyone who at any time. So it's a great question, but yeah, they're right. They are scheduled for the evenings.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But it's because we need to be able in the school, and the schools are used during the day. So.
Okay, Dr. Rockwell.
I did want to note, I think the pop-up events will be during the day, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So there's a day/weekend in there.
Right.
I also really appreciate the change to the community input. I don't think the open mic listening sessions were particularly effective in the past. I'm excited to see how, you've mentioned all sorts of different types of activities you've done in the past to really get engagement and get ideas when we met one-on-one, and I'm really excited for that. I do think, this is a workshop, this is our opportunity to discuss. So the change to the format complicates board member attendance because we can't technically have multiple of us floating around different parts of a room or different rooms. So we ran into this with strategic planning. So that is one thing to consider. The other thing to consider, and I think I heard Ms. Playback imply this, that we want to let the community guide the discussion, not us. And I think when we are there, people look to us and it becomes a Q&A instead of providing input. There's also, for some community members, speaking out, giving their opinion in front of board members can be intimidating. It shouldn't be, we're just people, but sometimes it can be. And I think it's it would be important for us as a board to kind of discuss what our involvement will be. You know, when we talked, you kind of said that, you know, typically we don't have board members at these events, but I know some board members might want to be there, and I was kind of thinking of possibilities like Ms. Johnson might need help at a sign-in table, so board members could maybe just man the sign-in table right outside the event, one board member per event, and leave, or a board member could give a welcome to the community members, or do both of those things. And then, so, you know, I don't know what my colleagues are thinking, that's why I'm bringing it up during a workshop, but I know that I think it's important that we figure out how we're going to handle that.
Yeah, again, my
Can I
preference
make a comment about the open house format? So that we understand that this is a rotating time period, so it will start at 5:30 and then it'll go till roughly 7:30 or later, depending on how many people we have in participating. We certainly don't want to stop people from continuing their participation and finishing it up. But it's a rotating thing. So there will be a presentation similar to the one that we're giving today with Buchholz spelled right. But it will rotate, and people will come and go as they want. This isn't something that starts at a certain time and ends at a time, Ms. Pavlik. That's one of the ways we're trying to make it open to people. So even though it is in an evening time, if they can make it at 5:30, great. But if they can't make it till 7:30, it's still open. It's still happening. They can fit it in their schedule. We know the holidays are a really hard time to have people come. So rather than doing a workshop format where people sit around round tables and it starts at a certain time and ends at a certain time, this is going to be more of a rotating, and the presentation there will happen throughout the evening so that it's a rotating type event. So I'm not sure that the welcome would work just because of the format that we're going to use.
That makes sense. So, I mean, I was just like, I don't have any strong feelings about anything. I'm happy to be there to help with sign-in. I'm happy to not be there at all. I just want to make sure that we discuss it, that's all.
Ms. Certain, and then I'll go. Yeah.
Thank you. So, like you, I kind of talked a little bit about board participation during my one-on-one, and I think I shared that in some communities, it may be okay for board members not to be there, but if we're not seen, that may be also not be a negative. So I think we have to figure out some kind of way of having board member participation, even if it is, I like your idea of just assisting as needed, but I think that if I'm not seen at an event, folks will start to wonder, like, wait, where's the board member support of this or whatever, right? So I know we had that discussion in this trying to manage through this challenge, doing strategic planning or whatever. I'm not looking to drive the conversation or the activities, as I told Kathy and Ms. Neal. I'm sorry, Edenbach? Eba, as I told Ms. Eba and Ms. Neal and Dr. Patton when I had my one-on-one. But I am thinking, and it's been my experience of us having, folks expecting to see some type of board member attendance, not necessarily participation, but I think attendance. So I do think we have to do that, and Mr. Delaney will likely give some feedback on ways of us participating. My suggestion was you notice every one of them, and it's not an issue in that, but it's sorting to the granular things, so maybe.
I would like to hear what my two colleagues have to say about this. I'm kind of of the mind that, with this plate.
Respond to my question.
Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
He was looking towards you, so.
Sir, Ms. Certain, certainly noticing the meeting would be a good first step, but how the board members attend and interact at that meeting, there's additional steps that we would need to ensure. Somebody has to be there taking minutes if it's a public meeting. That can be challenging. And what the dynamic that I would foresee happening is members of the community coming up and wanting to engage with a board member. Even if a board member says, hey, I'm just here to do this task, or I'm really just here to listen, and there's multiple board members, I think it's going to be hard to stop a community member from wanting to engage with you. And we've got to have somebody there to get minutes on the spot for that. There are definitely Florida cases that talk about in settings where the board is not up on a dais like this. They need to be in one location so other people can hear what all the board members have to say. If you disperse them around the room, one person can't hear the conversation that's happening. So there's some real challenges with this type of format and board participation.
Yeah, and I'm just hearing that, like, I believe, Ms. Playback, you were saying that, like, you more or less don't think we should be there to put our thumbs on the scale, right? And I'm in total agreement with that. I would like us to come to consensus as a board to just not participate in these, just so it is purely community input. And like, I was hearing Dr. Rockwell where it's like, hey, people are going to come to us for an opinion, and I don't think that's like really conducive to what JB is trying to do. Like, I love what they're doing, and I do want to just emphasize that what they do is what they're, in terms of community engagement, is something they always do, right? It's like this is they're experts at this. It's not like they're creating a process for us. This is just something they're already good at. And so I don't think we should interfere with that. And just everything Mr. Delaney laid out, I'm literally like, yeah, this becomes an overcomplication, and to me, it would dilute community voices if we were all there. And I would just like to stay out of that and just more or less stay in our lane when it comes to this, because I think the whole point of community engagement is to hear from the community, because they definitely hear plenty from all of us. So that's just my opinion. Dr. McNeely.
Mr. Chair, I think I've said to Kathy personally, I'm going to try to be at each one of them. And I did not see it presenting a problem. I can understand if the board, my colleagues feel that this is an intimidating situation. I've never felt that way with my citizens, or I'm shocked to hear that people will be intimidated because we are there. However, if this board votes that we should not be, I won't go. But I have fixed, when she gave us the schedule on Monday with my one-on-one, I started adding that into my personal calendar. But if you all feel that we shouldn't, then I'll go along with you. I just don't agree with that prospect of my absence. I'm so sorry.
No, understood. Ms. Neal.
I do want to just point out that for all of the community events, the community engagement, you all as board members will receive the artifacts from those, and that will be included in the report and the summary that you all will receive also. So whether there or not, you will receive all of the information that is shared from those community events.
The question was asked if we have had board members in the past, and so I will say that it has happened, but it's been very rare. I think for the reasons that your attorney has laid out, it is a challenge when we do these kind of activities, because the conversations are fluid and they are happening. As I've tried to describe, this is an open house format, so there will be stations around the room, up to 12 of them, around 12 of them is what we're going to do, and they're going to be both for youth and for adults. And so you may have a group at one station, and then they're going to move to another one, or they're going to move to another one, and it may not be the same group always, again, because we're starting and ending, and people can come as they go, as they please. So while we have done it, and we have done it with the notifications and done it to the letter of the Florida law, there are challenges. It is not our choice. It is your choice to decide how you want to do it. As Kim just mentioned, every one of these will have a write-up when we come to the January 12th meeting to present to you your vision statement and your guiding principles. All of the background material that went into that decision-making process will also be presented to you. So you will hear what happened at every one of the activities. You will hear what we heard from the online and participation. You will see any of the maps that were presented at the event. So all of that material will be shared with you throughout this process. And once again, it's an online portal, and all of the information that we present will be available online, which means it's available to all of our community members, including yourselves.
I saw Dr. Rockwell's light first.
Oh, that's fine.
But you can get the
Go
question.
down the
Okay.
line, it's easier.
I just wanted to ask Mr. Delaney one question. So if there's only one board member at an event, does that still have to be noticed and have minutes? Or is it if there are multiple people, multiple board members?
It would be if there are multiple board members. If there was only one, so that's one potential solution, that this is kind of divided up and each board member takes one meeting. I was also checking with Dr. Patton the possibility of all 5 board members recording a greeting and a statement, like on a video, and then that could be played at these meetings, so there's more of like a virtual presence. Both of those would address the sunshine issues.
Dr. Rockwell?
So I was thinking the same thing. I can go one of two ways. Either board members don't attend. I like the idea of us recording a statement and, explaining why the board members are not attending in the presentation, to make it real clear, because I think people are used to, again, that open mic with all the board members listening, so it's a big shift, and we don't want them to think that we don't care, right? That's really important. I think the other direction I could go is splitting it up. One board member is there at the sign-in table, helping get people checked in and just greeting them. Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for being here. And not even inside the event. Because again, I think Mr. Delaney mentioned this, and I did as well. As soon as I step into the event, all of your great ideas for getting input go kind of out the window and I get swarmed. That just makes sense. People want to access their elected officials, their decision makers. It just makes sense. But you have these fantastic ways that you've proven through experience get you great community input, and I don't want to interfere with that. So at least, obviously board consensus, but those are kind of the two options that I see being feasible. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Dr. McNeely?
Mr. Chair, please put down that I will be at the East Side one, definitely. Notice that meeting, so if any of the others of you would like to attend, but I am not going to go to that one and several of the others. So I would suggest to the superintendent to have the staff notice those meetings, because I plan to be in some of them, period.
So then I think it's better that we don't run into a problem where we have to notice these meetings, and I kind of like the suggestion then, if board members are going to go, we just kind of sign up for them now, and to make sure that there isn't a conflict and we're not going to run into sunshine issues. So Dr. McNeely has said she's going to East Side on December 8th, and so I don't believe any other board members should attend that one. And if we're all in agreement, at least, that we're not going to have to notice meetings, because again, it just runs into those strange issues like JBPro and everyone was telling us logistically. I do like Dr. Rockwell's idea of where hey, we're there maybe as greeters more than anything else. And I saw Dr. Patton, and then we'll go.
Yeah, my concern is we've hired a company to gather all the information, and your word right there, Dr. Rockwell, that you'll get swarmed, that is going to happen, and then nobody's following you to capture all those people's, even if it's just you there. Nobody's capturing them all. That's the purpose of this company. So I don't know how we do that, because that will happen. They'll see you and they're going to come over and talk. In the past, they couldn't, because you sat in a place and you just heard them speak. It's a total different look, so just that would be my concern, of just people walking around, who's capturing all the comments that people are saying to you.
Yeah, and I am happy to not attend, and if I do attend, I will stand outside and greet people. And
Yeah, it's only.
if it's just one board member, but I want JBPro to be able to do what they do best. I don't want to interfere in any way.
Well, and they could also, when they do have the little brief intros, you know, in between, because they're not just welcoming people one time over the 2 hours, because I might have come in a half hour later, so they'll make those announcements. They could make the announcement there, we'll get some statement, you don't see board members present because we're here to capture these thoughts, or to say we had so-and-so greeting you on the way in, but we're asking you to give the comments and your thoughts to the JBPro, so we can figure a way to make some kind of a message. So if you want to be there, we could certainly give you that idea of the welcoming is wonderful. You know, they see people, everybody was going to file through there anyway.
So I think we should get on the line and just kind of get a preference here. But Ms. Certain, before we do that. Ms. Certain's going to speak first.
So, trying to find a happy medium here, right? So I do like the recorded greeting. There are a couple of dates that are kind of out of the box because we are, well, the first one, Mabane I would have liked, but we're at FSBA that week. So I don't want to complicate it for staff and for that. But what I would like to offer as a insight also, and which is what how I've governed myself and Dr. McNeil and myself when we would attend the same meetings initially. When we're in a meeting together, whoever speaks first would own the meeting for sunshine purposes. That's how the Alachua County Commission, I think the City Commission handles things as well, if it's a public forum like that. So if Dr. McNeely is saying she wants to go to meetings, and if there's more than one person, happens to be more than one school board member that ends up at the meeting, it's my suggestion that whoever, hopefully no one speaks at all because it is for JBPro and those to gather community input, but that we govern ourselves by that. The first person that speaks would quote unquote own the meeting for that. But I do like the idea of recording a greeting or something from us as a board that could be played on loop or as the facilitators of that night's events would take place. It is going to be a new shift, a different paradigm because we are accustomed to being in these types of meetings. I guess the only thing I could say is that I'm willing to withhold and not attend Dr. Patton, but if we start to hear grumblings and we hear folks complaining about the elected officials not being there, like I told you guys in the meeting, all this stuff will be done. Ms. Eba, Ms. Neal, others will go home, and it's the elected officials that's going to get blasted. We're going to get the heat from this, right? We're the people going to be wanting to see us, and they're going to have complaints of us. When we're just following the guidance from you all, that's still not going to be an out for us, right? And, you know, like I said, I do want the process to be robust and us to get good information because it is really critical that we have success in this. I mean, this is really critical, and we really want to do a good job. We want JBPro to be positioned to be able to work their plan as they presented it to us, so that we have the highest likelihood of getting the desired outcomes. So I said all that to say to probably clear as mud, but maybe to say that I am in favor of us recording a greeting or something as a board collectively. I don't know how we would do that. We can possibly talk about that, and then that we really, if there's a meeting that we really would like to attend in a particular area of the county, that maybe we say that now, you know, we do that, and then we really just try to govern ourselves that if we attend the sessions that we allow them to proceed with staff and with JBPro to do what we've hired them to do, so we can do that. Thank you.
I mean, it sounds like to me we have two board members who feel really strongly about attending, and so I think we should just find that happy medium. And I do like Dr. Reckel's suggestion of, you know, maybe we're in attendance for greeters, but we're not participating really in any way to move the needle. And so if that's what I feel like the happy medium is, I think we should decide now which events that we're going to go to, only because we really have no other opportunity to discuss this other than right now. And so it sounds, yeah, of course.
So are we going to then make sure we don't go into the event and just stay out of the event? Because I think once we cross the line and go inside, then that changes the dynamics. But Dr. Rockwell suggested that we stay at the table or stay outside. I think that is a way for us to still meet people, but not go into the event. And we have to be careful about our discussions and stuff. Is that what we think?
I think that's a great idea. I think that if we're okay with that. But it sounds like, so Dr. McNeely has said she's definitely going to go to East Side. Is there anything, Ms. Plavic or anyone else that they feel like they would absolutely like to go to? It works in their calendar and schedule.
I don't have a preference to where I go, but I have a conflict on the 10th, so.
So I would, actually, let me see, the 10th.
Just as a reminder, those calendar dates are on slide 14
Yes.
of your presentation, if you need to review that.
And I think,
Do that one.
I think on the 4th, are we all at FSBA or just some of us? 3 of us.
Yeah, I'm going to. So if anyone can go to Mabane, Ms. Plavic or Dr. McNeely on the 4th, because the rest of us will be at.
We're trying to get somebody there for every meeting.
If we would like to, I think we should at least all go to one then, if that's kind of the situation. I can be a little flexible outside of the 4th.
What time is it, 5 o'clock?
5:30 to 7:30 is the plan time. Again, they are open house formats to drop in, and we will not walk out at 7:30 if people are still in engagement.
Right.
We could be later. Could we be later? We don't have to, do we have to be there at 5:30?
No, you can chill later.
I'll do midnight.
Okay, so
And I'd like to do Kanapaha, since I live near there.
are we okay with that, Ms. Plavic, going to Mabane and Kanapaha? Anyone? Okay.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
If the meetings are noticed, it does not matter. I like the suggestion that Mrs. Surton said, what we used to do, and that is the speaker, if Mrs. Playback, if she's saying she wants to do, I think she said Kanapaha, then she would be the speaker, and those of us who are in attendance, she has the floor only.
We wouldn't be speaking, though, because we're really not running any of this. So my issue is then, one person would have to stay silent as people try to talk to them, and I don't know, as a board member, any of us can stay silent.
Meetings, period.
I think the bigger concern is the minutes, because you're talking to people that are in these groups that the business is coming before you.
Right.
So every one of you at a meeting, it's not even if you talk to them, if they talk to you, you're hearing about businesses coming, at least the way I understand it, Mr. Delaney. So we're going to tag a staff member or somebody to standing next to them. So number one, they capture for them, but at number two, to capture minutes, because that's what's going to happen. This isn't like we're going to a function like the Education Foundation where we all sit at a table. That's not a question about things like that. This is the way I understand it. The business of what these people are inputting is coming to you. It's on our website. You're going to get a full report of all of that. That's the main difference of when people knew in the last time you were there, because they were all seated, they could see you. They're not even going to all see you
Right.
unless
and-
you
and it's-
circulate
And
around.
it sounds like there's an issue to where every person in
Different.
attendance would have to be able to hear what you're saying, and that's just not possible unless we're, a microphone the whole time. And then everyone's just hearing us talk in the middle of their activity, and I don't think that's practical. Yeah, Mr. Delaney?
And 2 other things to keep in mind, whoever the second board member is, they have to, tell people, I'm not allowed to talk to you. That's not a great look, and that doesn't accomplish what the board's trying to do, and that's going to involve a lot of explanation. And in the type of environment that you're describing, I think it's going to be awkward and limiting of the dialogue with members of the public to have a staff member hovering to take minutes about what someone's sharing about where they live and their child's school experience. I don't think it's accomplishing in this format what you're trying to.
Yeah, it's only two. So like we can avoid the issue if we just more or less self-regulate and just only have one person show up at each meeting. And so I think that's just,
But still, when that person shows up, then we still need somebody following you because the staff, hang on, because the staff needs to capture that person's thought. You see what I'm saying?
I would like to think we're not like participating. We're just outside. We're more or less greeting folks,
Oh,
welcoming
that's
them,
different.
thanking
If
them
you're
for
gonna be
showing up. And
inside
I
it,
think
okay.
there's a general
Got it.
consensus for that. Sounds like, yeah. And I think, the concerns about us showing up, I think those are very valid. But Ms. Plavick has said Mabane and Kanapaha. Is there anyone else that has specifics they would like to?
I'll do Buchholz on the 15th, and then I'll wait and see what else is left, if there's anything else.
Oakview on the 9th,
Okay.
and if need be, one of the other schools, High Springs on the 11th if need be.
Okay, so Ms. Certain, you can do High Springs, you said? Okay, because I can,
I said I could do Oakview. That's one I definitely want.
oh, you want to do Oakview? Okay,
Yes,
for
that's
sure,
my-
okay.
that's my district.
Because I can do High Springs, so I will sign up.
Okay.
I'll be the representative for High Springs.
Said east side.
And Dr. McNeely said East Side, and so that leaves Hawthorne and Westwood. Is there anyone who has a preference?
I'll do Westwood.
Okay, so Ms. Certain can do Westwood.
I'm going to do Hawthorne.
And Dr. McNeely, I know you like to go out to Hawthorne. Is that, you would like to go to Hawthorne? Okay. All right, and so just to clarify, Ms. Plavick will be attending Mabane, Dr. McNeely will be attending East Side, Ms. Certain will be attending Oakview and Westwood. I will be attending High Springs, Dr. Rockwell will be attending Buchholz, Ms. Plavick will be attending Kanapaha, and Dr. McNeely will be attending Hawthorne Middle High. Okay. Does anyone have any more questions for JBPro? Ms. Certain's Westwood. Yes.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Ms. Certain's going to Westwood? Yes. Correct, yeah. Yeah, but does anyone have any other questions for JBPro? Okay, I am hearing none. So thank you. I really appreciate just that and coming to work with us. And I know this is like a large lift, and so just thank you for coming out and speaking to us.